So this week we're on tongue and groove joints. Tongue and groove joint is a really handy joint to know. The reason being, you can use it for interlocking panels together. You can use it for corner joints as well, so it's really handy to have. And obviously on the corner joints you can use it for doors, units, whatever really. So yeah, it's a good joint to know. So what we're going to do is, these are designed to use for 25mm plain timber. I haven't got any 25mm plain timber, and so what I'm going to use is some 18mm MDF, just basically because I've got loads of offcuts of that, and it's throwawayable. I don't want to spend money on timber after throw it away. So what we'll do is we'll set these up. Now I've never used these before. This is I've had these about a year, and I've never used them, so this is going to be as new to me as it is to you. So obviously this is the tongue one. Yeah, this is the tongue one because the bearing's in the middle, and this is the groove that I've got in the machine already. So from what I make out is we need to line this up with the centre of our timber. So we know we're using a piece of 18mm MDF, so we're going to find the centre of that, which is round about there, and then we're going to line that up with the centre of our router bit. So I'm going to drop that down to line up with our centre, which is about there, I'd say. So we've lined our height up, so now we're going to bring the fence forward, and as always the fence needs to line up flush with our bearing. So just like that. So we'll lock that off, lock that one off, just double check it, no rocking, perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a test piece, and I'm going to test it, and if that's okay, then we'll run it through on one of our good pieces. So because it's MDF, I'm going to be wearing a mask, obviously defenders and safety glasses. Right, so there's our joint. Obviously this is the bit that runs on the bearing, so this has been untouched, and as you can see we've got a slight chamfer on here, which some tongue and groove router bits don't have this, but this is one I bought with which gives it a little bit more security, gives that a little bit more strength, because you've got that little bit extra area for gluing up, so hopefully that'll be a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my pre-cut bit through now, and we'll get a good edge on this one, and we'll run it, then we'll set over for the other one. I'll tell you what we will do. What I'm going to do is I will do it so I make a little frame. What I'm going to do is, just for a demonstration, I'm going to make a miniature picture frame, just basically to show you that you can use this for making frames up. So what I'll do is I'll rip this down, because I don't want to be getting my fingers too close around it. What I'll do is I'll go down one side, then go down the other side, and then I'll rip down the width of the rails, and then we'll do it that way. That'll be more safer. So I'll do this, and then we'll change the bit over. So we've got both our sides done, so we'll stick the other bit in and get the other side done. So bit changed over, we're going to set our fence up again, always running off this bearing. And then we're going to set our height. So now we're going to set so this lines up with this. because obviously we're going to put our tongue so we want our tongue to line up with that, so we need to line that gap up with that gap. Let me get a pencil so you can see. So what we need to do when we're lining up, obviously this is in reverse, so we need to line this gap up here with our original gap to give our tongue like that, and then that should give us an opposite one to what this is. So what we'll do is, again, old scrap piece, and we'll try it. Right, so there's our joint. As you can see, the two joints are together, but as you can see with the tongue we're a little bit too high, so the router bit needs to go down a little tiny bit, because we've got a little bit of a step here, so that means this has got to come up, so the router bit's got to go down a little tiny bit. So we'll just move that down a fraction. On there, and hopefully that should be about enough. So we'll try again. Now that's perfect, absolutely perfect, nice plush fit, nice. Right, so what we'll do is I will do the two ends I'm going to do on this, and then that will give me the, again I'm going to do, because they're so small, I'm going to do the two full ends, and then we'll rip them down to what we want, what size we want to make our little frame with. So as you can see, it doesn't look too bad. I have before, not on this tooling, because I haven't used, like I said, I haven't used these router bits before, but when I've done tongue and groove panels before, I've cut a piece of panel to go in there, just a piece of flat panel, just so it looks a bit like a flat panel door or panel. If you wanted to, you could do a raised panel in there, it doesn't really matter, but it just gives you that square edge, or if you're going to go, if it doesn't fall apart. Or if you go the other way, because you've got that that chamfer on there, it gives you a bit of a chamfered edge. So if I can get it back together like that, you can see you've got a bit of a chamfered edge on here, so it gives it a little bit of character. So what we'll do is we'll get this glued up and let it dry, and we'll see what it looks like. But looks good. Like I say, you've got your nice tight joints, got a nice match. Obviously you're going to get a little bit of variance in your timbers, but nothing major, and we'll get it glued up and see how it looks. Right, this is dry now. I've unclamped this, and I've noticed that I must have clamped it too tight, because as you can see here, this is not straight, this is pulled up. So I think I might have clamped it a bit too tight and caused it to curve a little bit. This side's okay, that side's perfect, but that size. But normally I would, if I was doing a piece for my, or for work, I would clamp it to a piece of hardboard to stop it twisting. But on this I didn't, I just put a clamp, as you see, I just put a clamp either end just to nip it up to hold it tight while it dried. But I've run over this with a piece of 120 grit just to clean it up really, because there's a little bit, but nothing major. Joints have turned out really well. Got some nice good joints. We've got a little bit of an air gap in there, but if we had to, we could just mix a little bit, or put a little bit of wood glue in there and a little bit of sawdust, and you'd never know that was there. So you could either use this for if you was making some small, or you wanted to make bigger board out of some small timber, you could use this by interlocking it and gluing it that way. Obviously frames like this. So if you could make I suppose you could make a raised panel door or something like this way by cutting some ply or MDF to go in this groove, and as you assemble it, put it in there and glue it in. That would give you a panelled door. Or like my daughter suggested, that if you rebaited out the back here, you could make picture frames, which would be quite cool because you've got this chamfer on the front here. So yeah, that would be quite cool as well. Obviously, being MDF, you could paint it, prime it, undercoat it, paint it, and then obviously if it's timber, you could varnish it or stain it. So there's possibilities for all different things. So anyway, guys, that's the last joint. I don't think I'm going to do any more videos on joints. This has got to be the 3rd or 4th week, so I think you've had enough of joints. So I think we'll move on to something a bit different next week. What, I don't know yet, but I will have a look and see what I can come up with. So anyway, guys, have a great week. Take care. Speak to you soon, and bye for now. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for making it to the end. There may be a couple of videos down below that you might be interested in. If you do, pop over and check them out. Also, if you're a subscriber to the channel, then thank you very much for your continuous support. And if you're not a subscriber to the channel, then pop over and click this link here to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the bell notification to be notified for all my latest uploads. So anyway, guys, take care. Speak to you soon.